What's going on, team? It's great to have you back again. Do you find yourself in a position where maybe your sales are flatlining, or maybe worse yet, they're on the decline? A lot of the times when this happens, we start thinking, what could this be? We come to the conclusion it's all the outside influences or all the things going on around us, right? Probably not. Oftentimes what we find out when we get into it, we're not doing the things that we used to do that once made us successful. So if this is a position you're in, then this video is for you. Stay tuned and let's get into it. As always, I just make these videos to help others in the way that I have been helped in the past. So if this video is helpful to you, then pass it on to a fella or a fellette near you. All right, so it's December. It's the last month of the year. It's the time to press and go strong and start contemplating what next year is going to look like in its entirety now that you got a whole year's worth of information to attack it with, right? And because you're a thinking, thought processing fella or fellette, this is a good thing. But what we need to be conscious of is the type of thought thinking that we're going to be doing right now.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
Because as you do have a full year of processing that you get to put together now, you are going to start reflecting on what next year looks like and what you want it to look like. And you're going to start making decisions. But there's going to be a lot of things going on right now in the subconscious that you may not be thinking of that I want you to be aware of. So I want you to take down some key points to make sure that when you're making those plans for next year or wrapping up on the end of the year this year, that they do not affect you in a negative manner. Okay, so some things we need to be thinking about. It is the holiday season and you are in holiday mindset in a lot of ways. So you need to make sure that these three things don't jump out at you in making your decisions on how you're ending this year and starting next year, right? And number one is going to be stress decisions. I know what you're thinking, stress, holidays, that doesn't even make sense. But maybe you're in a position where you know you're gonna get together with all your little brothers and you gotta make sure that you're still the eldest and you dominate accordingly. By the way, you will dominate accordingly.
Oh, y'all thought y'all was getting out of here easy. Oh no.
So we want to make sure that these stress decisions, because all the family gathering you're going to have to get around, that you're not in a bad place making those same stress decisions in your workplace. All right, so the next thing we need to look out for is going to be the it's cold mentality. What do I mean by that? It's this time of year where, depending on what business you're in, one of two things are happening. Either it's rockin' boom bockin' sis boom ba.
I'm positive I'm not hearing that right.
And you are just crushing the game right now and you just assume this is the way it's always going to be. Stop it. It's that time of year, 'tis the season, as they say. Or maybe you're in a type of industry where this is a time of year where you don't get any business and you start thinking, oh my gosh, it's all going down. So don't get to the it's cold mentality. Lastly, it is that time of year, you're out buying gifts, you're doing things, it's a rah-rah rockin' good time. You got Mariah Carey playing on the overspeakers and you start getting into the spendy mentality. Now, it's not necessarily that you can't spend money in your business, but in the same hand, don't just think you can just buy your way into success. I want you to be ingenuitive. I want you to be creative. So if you're getting in that spendy mindset, stop it.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
All right, look here. I know what you're thinking. Marcus, I'm gonna need you to put this together and wrap it into a bow. I need a parable to follow with what in the world you're telling me right now. Don't worry, I got parables aplenty. So here's one for you.
Boy, here we go.
Used to work with this fella back in the day. Let's just, you know what? Let's call him Chad because his name was Chad. And Chad and I would get together all the time and we talk about the back when we were's, right? And for us, the back when we were's talks, that's like, you know, about when I was a kid. That's what the anyways, so we were both this fast little individual. We could run down anybody and just surpass them. We both thought that we were the fastest dude on planet Earth. Clearly, only one of us was right. And this had to be settled mano a mano, or runo a runo. Anyways, we had to settle it. So I took it upon myself. I'm like, I'm done with this trash talking and the when we were's. Let's do this in the real world. Let's make it happen. So I put forth a line in the sand, a challenge, if you will.
Don't cross this line!
And I said, let's just do it. Let's go outside and make it happen. And he gave me the same excuse every time. Marcus, we ain't got no grass. Now, I don't know what the heck not having grass has to do with it. We got plenty of flat plain area in which to run, as I would say. And this just went on for months and months. And eventually I got him to buck up and say, all right, let's do this. So you know what I did? I gotta have an audience. I gotta have other people witness his absolute crushing demise of being outran by this guy right here. So what did I do? I went running around the whole building and I was like, hey guys, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Chad, myself,
I can tell y'all is that it's about to go down.
and that's exactly what I did. I got everybody gathered up and here we are. It's time to do this thing. I look over and he's stretching. Like he's doing it and I'm like, what are you stretching for? This doesn't make any sense to me. As a famous man once said, a lion doesn't stretch before and goes and kills a gazelle. I don't need to stretch. I don't have to get ready. I stay ready. You know what I mean? So he finishes his 5, 10, 30 minutes of stretching. I'm like, are we gonna do this thing? Or are we gonna dance, son? So we line up, boom, whistle goes off or flag. I don't really remember if it was a whistle or flag. It probably really wasn't a gunshot. But anyways, the race starts going down. Now let me tell you how these races happen. You have people that are quick off the line. You have people that are fast once they get going. I'm the quick off the line kind of guy. So I know when this thing starts, like, you're behind me 100%. And chances are you probably ain't gonna catch me. And he told me, well, I'm the kind of guy that I catch up to you once I get going, look out. So whistle blows, bam, gunshot, whatever it was, we start going, right? And as it were, I look back, I said, because he was behind me. And then all of a sudden, I hear the footsteps, if you will. Like this dude is about to come get some.
Okay. All right.
It didn't happen. So it didn't work well, and I realized, okay, time out, stop. We're gonna do this again. I put a kibosh on the thing like my shoe got undone or something. Now I'm stretching. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna get the stretch on. It's time to go. We're doing this for real now. We're both stretched out. Let's go, right? So we take off. Same goes in the beginning as always. I'm in the lead. I feel them start coming on again. And I just remember mind to muscle connection. My mind was like, legs, let's go. And my legs had a different opinion. What my legs said, yeah, that's what they said. And down goes Frazier. Like it was in slow motion. The mind wanted the legs to do things, and the legs just said no. Fall down, blood everywhere. Like it's embarrassing. And if you remember, I gathered the whole crew around. I was like, hey, it's about to go down, because I thought this was going a different way. I didn't know Chad was a cheater. But anyway, so I pick myself up. I just go get right in the truck. I get home, I gotta face my wife. I'm bleeding everywhere, clothes are torn up a little bit. I gotta sit and tell her the truth of what happened now. So I said, well, Chad and I were racing, and after I beat him, he ran me over with his truck. I mean, like I said, it's a version of the truth, not that it's the real truth, but it's a version of it, right? We did race.
Here's what's bad about me, people. I'm a liar. I love to lie. I don't know why. I wish I could stop. I can't.
So, what do I mean by this? Where am I getting at? What's the tie-in? Well, Chad remembered what made him fast is where I had forgotten. I had forgotten about doing all the stretching that you did. I thought back about it. I was like, you know what, dadgummit, I did used to stretch. I guess I was never a lion eating the gazelle. I was just the gazelle trying to get away from the lion. Another story, another time. But I forgot about all the hard work that went into it to get me to that point. Chad didn't. He knew what it took. He knew from the very beginning, we ain't got no grass. I've seen people fall. I didn't even think that was part of the equation. I thought it wasn't the summer camps, it wasn't the training, it wasn't the workout, it wasn't all that I did. I thought I was just born like a lion and I was just the gift of running. I was wrong. Chad knew what it took to continue to get winning results. He knew the actions required, and he was going to continue to take those actions to continue to get the same results. Now follow with me. We've seen this story play out before. If you want to go back to 1 Samuel 15:16, you can see this happen with Saul right before it gets taken from him and then given on to David. Saul at one point in time was a good man of God and was a good king and followed the Lord. And because he followed the Lord, he had victories. Then all of a sudden one day he thought, oh, this is all about me. Look at the things I've done. I'm the lion. I can go get the gazelle. And he didn't do as instructed, and it was taken from him.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
And sometimes you need to realize that can happen in business as well. You may think, oh, I just do this, that, or the other, and maybe I just have a little bit less and I just don't succeed. No, it'll be taken from you. So what has put you there, you need to continue doing, or it will be given to another. And the reason David succeeded is because David followed the Lord. He had the heart of God, right? So you need to make sure that you are doing the things that won for you in the beginning and continue all the way through. Don't let yourself get like I did in that story, or like you see Saul do in Samuel, where you start thinking it's all about you and you're just so good, and it wasn't the actions and the things you did. All right, so now you're doing the right thing. You're asking me plainly, talk about the business itself. What does this mean? How does this pertain? So let's get into it, right? I bet when you started, there were things that you did. So let's think about some of the things that you did when you started out, right? Again, whether it's in your leadership career, your ownership career, whatever the case may be, when you started doing the thing, when it was working, what were those things that you were doing? Let me give you some examples. I bet it's things like you probably educated yourself in your craft. You YouTube University, or maybe you did some books, whatever the case may be. I bet you dug in to get knowledgeable about the thing that you were doing.
I know Kung Fu.
Or maybe you said, I'm going to make X number of phone calls every single day. Are you still making those same number of phone calls? If it worked then, it's going to work now. Or maybe there was a time where you were truly wanting to help people. You were wanting to dig in, dive in, whether that be your customers or whether it be your fellow coworkers, or if it's your employees. When was the last time you sat down and truly dug in with them and not just pushed a bunch of numbers, right? And here's one that I see drop off a lot because people just think, oh, everybody knows that I do this thing. When you started, you probably went around telling everybody, this is the new thing that I'm doing, or this is how I win, or check this out. You were probably always selling.
I look good. I mean, really good. Hey, everyone! Come and see how good I look!
And you probably stopped selling because you just think, well, everybody just knows this is the thing that I do now, right? So why did you stop? There's an old saying that goes, success is a horrible teacher. And the reason is because it's just human nature. I've given you plenty of stories and parables right now to prove that to be true. Oftentimes, once we get success or have success, we start thinking it's about us and not about the things and the actions we do. Versus when we start out, we don't have any proof that we're anything. So we have nothing to do but dive in and put the actions into work, right? You have to keep doing those same things. So let's take a step back. Let's stop and talk about what are some basic things that we all need to do and actions that we all need to be making sure are in place and implemented. Okay, so there's two very quick, very specific questions that I want you to dive in on and get the answers. And restrain yourself, and I mean absolutely restrain yourself from going to your feelings on this matter.
No, don't like that.
I want you to look at historical data, all right? You need to actually find out the truth. Do not go off of your feelings, all right? So I bet there once was a time where some things were killing it. So I want you to think back at the time when you were killing it the most. And these are the two things that I want you asking yourself, all right? What was the number one driver of the majority of your revenue? Like if you had to be like, all right, this one thing produced the largest percentage of revenue, what was that one thing?
Can I ask you something? If you had one shot, one opportunity.
And are you still doing it to the level you did it at that point? Okay? And second, what was the thing that used to go on or that you used to do or just used to be that brought joy to the people that work with you? Because this is where you spend a lot of your time. People need to have enjoyment and fulfillment in where they're at. And sometimes we forget about it because at one point we wanted to do that. And now we just kind of assume that they remember the good times, right? What happens in a lot of marriages too. So you need to find out, and maybe you just need to go around asking, hey, you and I used to get together at the water cooler all the time. What happened? So you need to dive in and find the answers to those two questions, and do not, for the love of Pete, go off of your feelings, go off of the actual historical data. And according to a new study, if you're still here and you're still tuned in at this point in the video, you're an athletic person that has athletic tendencies. So I appreciate you being here as always. And if you're sitting here and all these things that we went through gave you a great hand and you know exactly what to do, phenomenal, glad for you. Pass it along to a fella or a fellette. Or if maybe you're sitting here thinking, man, I got nothing to do but go off my feelings. I don't know the historical data. I just want to get back to where I once was and I need your help doing it. Then click in the link below and let's get together and talk about it. And until the next one, we'll see you on the next one.